Have you ever wondered what women really want? Not the surface stuff, not the cliches you hear on podcasts or read in Instagram quotes. I'm talking about the real secrets, the ones no one tells you. Not because they're forbidden, but because most people haven't taken the time or had the courage to look deep enough. Today, I'm going to reveal something that might shift how you see relationships, how you connect with women, and maybe how you see yourself. But let me warn you, this isn't a list you'll find in a magazine or on some dating guru's YouTube channel. These 5 secrets are unspoken truths, whispers of female desire that live in between her words, in her silence, in her gaze when she thinks no one is watching. The first secret: she doesn't want you to fix her problems. She wants you to feel them with her. You see, connection isn't built through solutions. It's built through presence. When she opens up, she's not giving you a task, she's giving you her trust. She's asking, can you sit in this space with me without running? Can you hold my storm without trying to silence the thunder? The second, she craves unpredictability, not chaos, but a break from the monotony, not in a reckless, wild boy way, but in the way that says, I still see you, I still choose you, and I want to surprise you. Desire dies in routine, but it thrives in mystery. She wants to be reminded that love can still feel like an adventure, that she can still be curious about you. The third secret: she wants to be chosen, not just needed. You might think she wants to be indispensable, irreplaceable. But deeper than that, she wants to be your conscious choice. To know that, even with all the options, all the noise, you still choose her. Not because you have to, but because you want to, every single day. The fourth secret: she wants to feel safe, but not just physically. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, she wants to take off her armor in your presence. She wants to know that she can be soft without being dismissed, that her vulnerability won't be turned into weakness in your hands, that you won't flinch when she shows you the parts of herself even she struggles to accept. And finally, the fifth secret, the one almost no one talks about: she desires to be understood without having to explain herself all the time. She longs for a kind of emotional fluency in you, to be read, to be felt, to be known beyond her words. Because when a woman feels seen like that, not just looked at, but seen, everything changes. She blossoms. She trusts, she surrenders, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. So now you know. 5 secrets, 5 desires hidden in plain sight, not tricks, not hacks, just truth. Have you ever noticed how quickly we jump into fix-it mode when someone we care about is in pain? Especially in relationships when she shares something heavy, something emotional. Our instinct is to respond with answers, with logic, with solutions. But here's the truth no one tells you. That's not what she wants. When a woman opens up to you, when she exposes the tender parts of her soul, she's not handing you a to-do list. She's inviting you into her inner world. What she truly desires in that moment is presence, not performance. She wants to know, can you sit with me in this discomfort? Can you feel what I feel without trying to fix it or wrap it up in a neat little solution? Because here's the thing, she's not broken. She doesn't need you to solve her. She needs you to witness her. It's in these quiet moments where you resist the urge to problem solve, and instead offer your attention, your stillness, your empathy, that intimacy is born. She desires to be held emotionally, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Just listen, breathe with her, let her know she's not alone in the feeling, because presence says what solutions never can: I'm with you. Not just around you, with you. There's something most people miss when it comes to desire. It's not just about chemistry or attraction or showing up consistently. It's about energy, unpredictability, not the kind that creates chaos, but the kind that sparks curiosity. You see, routine has a quiet way of dulling passion. When everything becomes predictable, your words, your gestures, your rhythm, something in her starts to fade. Not love, but longing. She doesn't want drama. She's not asking for roller coasters. What she desires is to be reminded that she can still wonder about you, that there are parts of you she hasn't yet uncovered, that even after all this time, you still have the power to surprise her, not with grand gestures necessarily, but with intentional presence that breaks the script. Send that voice note in the middle of the day, telling her what you noticed about her this morning. Take her on a spontaneous walk, just to watch the sunset. Ask her a question no one else has ever asked her before, because when you bring the unexpected thoughtful, alive, present, it reignites the space between you. She feels chosen again, not because you have to, but because you want to keep discovering her. That's the kind of unpredictability that keeps her coming back, not just to you, but to herself, in the presence of you. Need and desire are not the same thing. A lot of people confuse the two, thinking that if she feels needed, she'll feel wanted. But deep down, that's not what stirs her soul. She wants to know that she is your choice, not your crutch. That you're not with her just because she cooks for you, listens to you, supports you, or fits into some convenient place in your life. She wants to feel that if all those things were stripped away, you'd still say, I choose you, not out of habit, not out of dependence, but because my heart still leans toward yours. When a woman senses that she's only there because you need her to be, because she holds your chaos together or fills a void, that's when her desire begins to dim. Because no one wants to be loved just for being useful. She wants to be desired for her essence, for the way she makes you think, for how her presence shifts the energy in a room, for the moments when she's doing absolutely nothing. And yet, you still see everything in her. Choosing her daily, actively, intentionally, tells her that she is not just a placeholder in your life, but a priority. That your connection isn't based on convenience, but on a conscious decision. And when she feels chosen like that, she doesn't just stay, she blooms. True safety isn't just about locking doors or physical protection. It's something deeper, something that happens in the space between your words, in the way you listen, in the way you respond when she shows you her fragile parts. A woman's heart carries scars, vulnerabilities, fears she may not even fully understand herself. She wants to feel safe enough to lower her walls, not just around you, but with you. To let down the armor she's worn for so long, to breathe without holding back. But that kind of safety is rare. It's not given lightly. It's earned through patience, respect, and unwavering kindness, even when things get messy. She wants to know that when she's soft, you won't mistake it for weakness, that when she cries, you won't turn away, that when she's unsure, you won't judge or push her to just get over it. Emotional safety is the soil where love grows deep roots. When she feels protected in this way, she can unfold trust and show up fully, not just for you, but for herself. That's the kind of sanctuary every woman quietly longs for, the kind that says, you can be all of you here with me. There's a quiet, almost invisible longing. She carries the desire to be understood without having to explain every little thing. Think about how exhausting it is when you constantly have to put your feelings into words, to translate the language of your heart into something logical, clear, digestible. She feels that too. She wants you to read between the lines, to catch the emotions she hides behind a smile or silence, to sense when something's off, even if she hasn't said a word, to know her moods, her rhythms, her fears, not because she spelled them out for you, but because you took the time to truly see her. This is emotional fluency, the rare ability to feel her without her having to teach you every time. It's in the way you notice the subtle shifts in her energy. It's in the way you hold space for her without needing answers. It's in the way you meet her where she is, not where you wish she'd be. When a woman feels truly understood in this way, she doesn't just open up, she surrenders, not out of obligation, but out of trust. Because being seen without explanation says, I know you, I see you, I honor you, And that, more than anything else, ignites a desire that's deep, real, and lasting. There's a difference between being looked at and being truly seen. Being looked at is surface, level. It's noticing the way she dresses, her smile, or the way she moves through a room. But being seen goes far beyond that. She longs for someone who sees her essence, her dreams, her fears, the parts she hides even from herself. She wants to be acknowledged not just as a role she plays, partner, mother, friend, but as a whole, complex human being with layers that shift and evolve. When you truly see her, you recognize the stories behind her eyes, the battles she's fought quietly, the beauty in her imperfections. You don't just notice her presence, you feel it. You understand that she's not just an accessory to your life, but a universe of experiences, emotions, and strength. And when a woman feels that kind of seeing, something powerful happens. She feels validated. She feels worthy. She feels free to be her full self. Desire grows in that space of authentic visibility. It's not about admiration from a distance, but about deep connection, a meeting of souls. Because when you see her fully, without filters or expectations, you're no longer just loving an idea of her. You're loving her, and that kind of love transforms everything.